This is not the beginning of the story. This is the continuation of a tension that has been building for a long time. The Middle East did not suddenly heat up. Pressure has been accumulating for years. Political pressure, military pressure, pressure from conflicts that were never truly resolved. What has changed is not the tension itself. What has changed is how visible it has become. For a long time, escalation existed mostly in statements, in diplomatic warnings, in intelligence leaks, in quiet military preparations. Now, escalation can be seen, recorded, shared, and impossible to ignore, because one unmistakable symbol has entered the picture. Its name is USS Gerald R. Ford, the largest aircraft carrier ever built. And today, it is not just sailing, it has become a focal point of global attention. An aircraft carrier is not deployed for minor messages. It is not sent casually, and it is never used lightly. The cost is enormous, the risk is high, and the message is unmistakable. When a carrier is deployed, it means previous forms of deterrence are no longer considered sufficient. That is why public reaction is immediate. Not because everyone understands military doctrine, but because history has taught a simple pattern. Where aircraft carriers appear, the possibility of escalation becomes real. And this time, that escalation is unfolding in a region already balanced on the edge. This movement did not begin in the Middle East. It began in the Atlantic. That detail matters. Long-range deployments are always deliberate, planned weeks, sometimes months, in advance. Around February 20th, 2026, the carrier passed through the Strait of Gibraltar. This is not a neutral passage. It is one of the most closely monitored choke points on Earth. The moment an aircraft carrier crosses it, analysts around the world understand one thing. This is not routine. This is not symbolic transit. This is a shift in military posture. At that moment, escalation entered an open phase. After Gibraltar, the carrier entered the Mediterranean, and this is where the strategic meaning deepens. The Mediterranean is not just a sea, it is a crossroads of global power. NATO interests, European security, Middle Eastern stability, global trade routes. The presence of a carrier here forces every actor to recalculate. Allies feel reassured, adversaries feel watched. Neutral states reassess their assumptions. At this stage, escalation is no longer regional. It becomes international. A few days later, the carrier stopped at Ceuta Bay in Greece. To the public, this looks like a pause. To the military, it is a critical phase. Ceuta Bay is a consolidation point, a place where readiness is finalized, logistics are fully replenished, operational plans are refined, intelligence is updated, coordination with NATO partners is tightened. This stop means one thing: the force is not just present, it is fully ready. Many people think an aircraft carrier is a weapon. That is a misunderstanding. An aircraft carrier is a platform, a floating system of systems. Its true power lies in its air wing. Fighter jets capable of precision, strikes at long range. Surveillance aircraft controlling the battle space. Electronic warfare capabilities shaping the environment. And the carrier never operates alone. It is surrounded by escort ships, submarines, and support vessels. This combination is what makes it formidable, not a single missile, but total operational integration. Images of a crowded flight deck spread quickly, not because they look dramatic, but because they carry meaning. For years, escalation was abstract. Now it is visible. People understand instinctively that this is not a normal posture. That is why attention surged, not driven by hype, but by collective awareness. This looks serious because it is serious. This question always follows, and the answer is complex. There has been no declaration of war, no official announcement of imminent conflict, but history offers a warning. Major conflicts rarely begin with explosions. They begin with positioning, with readiness, with forces placed where they can act immediately. This phase exists not because war is certain, but because diplomacy may fail. At this point, one thing is clear. The presence of USS Gerald R. Ford is not just a military movement. It is a reflection of a world under strain. The most important question is not who has the strongest weapons. The real question is how those weapons will be used, or whether they will be used at all. This is where we pause and think together, not to choose sides, not to spread fear, but to understand how fragile global stability can be. History reminds us that major wars often begin not with intent, but with miscalculation. As long as this carrier sails without combat orders, as long as diplomacy remains active, and as long as every move is being closely watched, there is still room for restraint. If you find discussions like this valuable, if you want global events explained with context, not just headlines, your support matters. Like this video so this analysis reaches more people. Subscribe to the channel to stay informed as this situation evolves, and share your thoughts in the comments, not to argue, but to think together. Finally, an important disclaimer. This video is created for educational and analytical purposes only. It does not promote violence, does not support any military action, and does not represent the interests of any political or military entity. All information presented is based on publicly available sources and strategic analysis, intended to help viewers understand global developments responsibly. Because understanding the world is the first step toward not repeating its worst mistakes. Thank you for watching. Stay critical, stay calm, and I'll see you in the next analysis.